Hey, it's Chandra with Piano at a Glance, and in this video, I'll be teaching you how to play 16th notes like a pro. Calm down. It'll be okay. I know for most beginners, these notes can look very intimidating on paper, but I have some helpful tips that you can use to master this rhythm pattern with ease. Let's go ahead and get started. What we're looking at here is a note duration pyramid. And I'll be speaking in terms of 4/4 time signature. And I just want to quickly review some of these note durations so that we can better understand how to count 16th notes. So this top note right here is what's called the whole note. And we know that in 4/4 time, you can only have 4 beats per measure. And the whole note equals a total of 4 counts. So you can have one whole note within one measure of 4/4 time. So let's say that we want to split that whole note in half. If we do that, now we end up with this note, which is a half note. And a half note gets 2 beats, which equals 4 counts. So you can have a total of 2 half notes in one measure of 4/4 time. So we're saying that 2 half notes equals 1 whole note. So if we want to split that up even further, we'll split the half note in half, which now gives us the quarter note. And each quarter note equals 1 count. So 4 quarter notes equals 4 beats. And this chart is saying 2 quarter notes equal a half note, or 4 quarter notes equal 1 whole note. So the question now becomes, how do we count beats that are less than 1 in 4/4 time? This is when we're going to have to use what's called subdivision. So if I cut the quarter note in half, that gives me 1/8 note, which is equal to a half a beat. So each one of these eighth notes is equal to 1/2. So we know 2 eighth notes equal 1 quarter note. Okay, so you have to play these 2 notes within 1 count. Okay? So the way that we want to count that is we want to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you notice, when you have notes that are beamed together like that, you have the first note is always going to be a beat. Okay, so the first note of each grouping is a numbered beat. Okay, so we have here, here, and here. Beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So keeping that in mind, now we want to cut the 8th note in half. So when we do that, now we're saying that 2 16th notes, these are your 16th notes, 2 16th notes are equal to 1 8th note. So you can cram 2 16th notes within 1 8th note, okay? So just like we up here with the eighth notes, we're counting 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. We're now going to say, since remember what I said earlier, each first note of groupings with beams, those are your numbered beats. So I have beat 1 here, beat 2, 3, and 4. So we just said that 2 16th notes equal 1 8th note. So the way we're going to count these 16th notes is going to be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So we're going to be cramming 4 16th notes in one beat. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at a few examples. Here we have one measure of 8th notes and one measure of 16th notes. And the goal here is to play each group of 8th notes within one count and each group of 16th notes within one count. So this example here will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, so the next measure here, we have 2 16th notes connected to an 8th note. And remember, we can fit 2 16th notes within 1 8th note. So we're going to number our beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to add the rest of our syllables. The second note gets the E, and the last note in each grouping gets the and. Okay, so this one sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now this example is the opposite of what we just did. So now we have the 8th note leading the way instead of the 16th notes, okay? So when I go to play this one, it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. All right. And this last example here looks complicated, but it's really not so bad. We have a 16th note beamed to an 8th note, beamed to another 16th note. Okay? So we're going to number our first beats in each grouping. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So remember, we can fit 2 16th notes into 1 8th note. So the E and, the middle note gets the E and, last note gets the Okay? All right, so when I play this one, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications on future lessons. I'll see you in the next video.